Bubby, did I pick the right hat? You agree? Greetings, friends. Today's video is kind of a reflection on the last week. If you remember, I started last week's video series shooting a video in my neighborhood, sort of talking about going on the trip, what my expectations were, and why I wanted to go so bad, and why I felt comfortable flying out a day earlier, moving my flight up one day to make it out before the rains and the storms came. And yeah, it was quite the week. And so I want to talk a little bit about the week, but also about the weeks to come. I'm pretty strategic, pretty planned out guy. I don't know what I'm doing, and I kind of love it. But before we can get into that conversation, I have a very quick pit stop, an errand that I have to run. You guys want to see a friend? Is that a relic from our past? Is that an OC neighbor? Is that a fidget spinner? Oh, no. Maybe at one time, but it's definitely a fidget, but it is not spinning. Actually, I can't leave that there. I'll do somebody else's work. I hate buses, straws, and people that litter. Pick up your junk, people. It's not that hard. It's like, who are these people that think the world is just here to clean up after them? It'd be funny if I just left that. Sing along with me. In the city or in the woods, help keep America looking good. Give a hoot, don't pollute. For Beth's birthday, I got her a pair of the Sony over-the-ear Bluetooth headphones. I think they're WXM04s. I don't know, not an easy name. It's like a serial number. And I had the threes. No, I started with the twos, threes, and now they're up to 4. And she would borrow mine when she'd work in a coffee shop, and she loved the noise canceling about how it would just make everything disappear, and she could focus on her work. But what she hasn't enjoyed is the fact that, AirPods have that cool little case that, you just put them in there and they're just constantly charging each other. So today I got can you bring me a cable so I can charge my headphones? They're dead, which made me curious. This might be the first time she's ever charged her headphones. So back to the point of I don't know what I'm doing. Not in a I don't know what I'm doing with the rest of my month type of way. I know that I saw Adam put up a video, I think it was yesterday, that said he didn't know what he was doing in the month of October because of his Tampa Rays and how the playoffs are going to go down. I don't have that kind of I don't know where I'm going with my life conundrum, so it's not a rip-off video. But if I'm being real talk, I kind of don't know where the channel's going right now. And that's the walk and talk that I wanted to have with you folks about. Last week was such a unbelievable trip. We were spared by any bad circumstances, so it just ended up being a Disney trip, sort of a weird break kind of in the middle of it. Boy, the juxtaposition of those two is phenomenal. But if you've been with me for a while, you know that the channel started off very personality based. Then it went more into sort of a news direction where sometimes you would see me and sometimes you wouldn't see me. And as of recently, it's been very news voiceover driven where, I go down to the park once a week, Disneyland. One of my absolute favorite homes in the neighborhood. Love that house so much. But the idea is I go to the park, I walk the entire resort, all 3 hotels, both parks, filming anything that's changed. Come home next day and edit it like crazy. I even have my friend Ethan help me out on the videos, and it is a lot of work for 2 guys to do. And look, I am not opposed to working hard. In fact, I love working hard. Aw, look how cute that little date night spot is right there in the public property. Fascinating. Working hard is the way that I was raised. My dad is a truck driver who got up every single morning and went out on the road regardless of what the weather was or how he felt. I think looking back on my childhood, I can only maybe remember 2 or 3 days the guy ever called in sick. His mom, my Momo, who was just the best person in my life as a child, she was a single mom, worked her whole life, never owned a new car, never bought a house, just grinded and did it all while laughing and smiling with tons of good stories to tell. She is the one who gave me my personality. In her life, there were no fancy waiters, cigars, and hanging out ocean adjacent. Dog. So even though my career has always been set in sort of an interesting space in the world of arts and creativity, I have worked so hard at achieving all of my goals because that's how I was raised. That's the person I was brought up to be. You work hard and you take a ton of pride in your work because your work defines you as a person. That's how I was raised. But the bad thing about the line of work that I've chosen is there's no formula for success. There's no straight path to success. So you show up and you're ready to work hard, but sometimes you're just like, but what am I supposed to work hard on? Where do these efforts go? What's going to get me to my goals? So I've been very honest about trying a little bit of everything over on YouTube. The last couple of years when I took it serious, I literally just kept thinking about the process. I was treating it like an art project, and if something was a good idea, I didn't stop myself from doing it just to see what if this is the thing that latches on, this is the thing that happens. And I honestly thought after 2 years of experimenting, I had found the 3 types of videos that I were going to do over and over again. Because one of the advice that you'll hear about YouTube is YouTube rewards consistency. And I took that as consistency as in publish 3 videos a week or 5 days a week or once a month. Like if you're just consistent and you publish, it'll happen. But that's a half truth because the consistency they're talking about is the same kind of videos. In real talk, I've been very consistent on how much I publish. I've put out a ton of videos over the last 2 years when I began to take this serious. I kind of look at the channel's real birth, July 17th, 2020. I pulled off a real big stunt that day, and a lot of new people came into the channel, and I said, you know what? I think that this is an indication that I can do this. So I have put up a ton of videos in the last 2 years and a couple of months. But if I'm being honest, they were not consistent. There was a lot of ideas, a lot of different ideas. And when people push play, they never knew what they were going to get. And so when I get comments, often, why doesn't this channel have more subscribers? First off, I love you for saying that, and let's all take this as a convenient moment to subscribe to the channel. I believe that it's because I have been too creative, too ambitious. I've created such a wide array of offerings that people just don't know, is this a vlog channel? Is this a news channel? Is this a history channel? Is this a weirdo channel? Like, I don't think I've done my job properly in letting people know every time you see a thumbnail, you know exactly what you're gonna get. And that's on me. That's my fault. But the last 2 years was such a great creative endeavor, I wanted to try it all before I committed to something. That's why I just recently changed the name to Hey Bricky, because I wanted to know the culture of the people that watch this channel and how they respond to me, how they accept me. And I have zero regrets on changing the name to Hey Bricky. I love the name. It was fun for this cute couple to come up to me at Epcot and be like, we've been waiting to say Hey Bricky and now's our chance. And I'm like, say it. And I thought that I knew what that consistent format was going to be like. Me and my team of volunteers, people over in Club 1313 that just really helped me out a lot. You know, my sort of council of five, they all agreed with me. I had a good plan. I had it locked in. And I was going to go out to Walt Disney World, come back and enact the plan. But something happened along the way. Last week pushed all of my skill sets that I have learned on YouTube as far as being a storyteller, a documentarian, and a really, really crazy editor on video content. My career before this was in the art world, the music industry, so you can see how I have an eye for the composition and how I love picking music for all of my projects. What a life. What a life. Just Duffying on a Wednesday morning. Hey, I rent those Duffy boats and we go out on an amazing holiday cruise. What do you say? Want to go along with me this year? But that's something that happened was I got into a rhythm of really enjoying the week's production and storytelling and how fast I was able to put up the videos because I wasn't going hardcore news, hardcore voiceover, more of a living in the moment and immediately documenting that moment. That's what really started to rattle around in my mind. That's what I'm thinking about. And I'm fully aware, there was major interest from the hurricane that was going through the Florida area, and luckily it didn't come anywhere close to us. There was also being next to my good friend, Adam the Woo. That never hurts when you do this for a living, but as you can see, it was more of us hanging out. Like, we popped in each other's videos, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I try to never be exploitive of our friendship. I really, really value the guy in my life. We're the exact same age. We both come from the punk rock hardcore community. We're both straight edge, drug free. We have a lot in common. So doing it with a friend was just awesome. But also getting to see how that friend, a master of his craft, how he digests and produce a day. Man, there's so much to learn from the way Adam does what he does. And I don't know that anybody does that thing better than him, so I'm not going to try. And the third thing that was putting a little extra wind in my sail, I say that because I was talking a lot this weekend that many times in my career I felt like Chris Farley in Tommy Boy when he's just sitting in that little lake in that little bitty sailboat and he's just like, sure could use some wind. And I have felt like that so many times. Probably the most accurate scene in a movie to depict how I feel about my career. I could just use a little bit of wind to blow me wherever I need to go. And this may be a horrible analogy considering the events of last week, but I felt like I found a little wind and I don't want to let that go. Check this out. This is awesome right here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this might be like an Airbnb type situation where they've taken an old houseboat or maybe just an old pontoon boat and put a cargo container on it, painted it my favorite color, murder black, little AstroTurf on it, little deck on it. It doesn't seem like it ever really leaves this slip. But man, that is a cool boat, because it looks like a boat without being too boaty. You know that person has good taste in art design because they went with the best color, matte black. And you know, I don't want to be Office reference coming in. I don't want to be Michael Scott when he went to, where did he go? Sandals, Bahamas, and he came home with like the tiniest little dreadlock and a steel drum guitar. Like, I'm fully aware, you go on vacation, it inspires you. You come home, I'm gonna live the vacation life forever. And it's just not true. It's just not realistic. Vacation is a very certain part of your life. Enjoy it, embrace it, but reality is real. That's why they put it in the word. But in my situation, it was a workation. I was having fun, too much fun, got to see all my friends, got to go to Disney World, which that was my third trip since I started the channel, and I absolutely adore it. And I have an amazing wife who's like, yeah, just go to a theme park for a week with all your best friends, and I'm gonna pretend that you're working. Greatest con of my life. No, greatest con of my life was fooling her into marrying me. Second greatest con was turning this into a career. Do you see what I see? Sees the little Christmas lights on the dock. Oh, do I love Christmas? Do I love Christmas? If you're new to the channel, you haven't seen anything yet. This little dirty red bearded Santa Claus goes really hard. But when I started to think about my regular schedule of going to the park on Thursday, walking the entire resort, which I love doing, but then cramming out the update video, it seemed personality-less. It seemed like there wasn't a lot of personality in that project, is what I'm trying to say. Not that it's a bad project, and I'm not saying I won't ever do it again, but for right now, if I trust my gut, it doesn't feel like what I want to do. And this was supposed to be the beginning of the new template of shows that you would hardly ever see me again. It would just be voiceover and tons of information, the most information-driven channel, so people could click, learn, and then go about their life. Almost pulled the trigger on that. But now I'm thinking maybe something more like last week might be the path that I need to take, to where I'm a little bit more, hold on. I don't know if it looks this way on camera, but I'm seeing Santa Claus's face in that smudge. Are you seeing Santa Claus? Comment below. Do you see the Santa smudge? Is this a sign from Santa? The ability to be a little bit looser with my plans, so that I can make more videos about more subjects and not get so caught into this like structured template that I'm only in because I put myself inside of that template. Kind of a big mantra I've had lately is that life goes fast, too fast. And I'm on the second half of mine. And I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it plotting and planning and being angry like I did the first half. And the second is, you're never gonna make everyone happy, so don't even try. I made a 30-minute video that was a love letter to Disney World, and I said I hated buses, and some people were like, what about the buses? You're never gonna make everybody in this world happy. Everything is controversial. Everyone has an opinion, and now a platform to share that opinion. So you really have to focus in on what's the true you, because the people that will follow and accept the true you, those are your true friends. Cheers. So my thought is maybe go in this direction, being a little bit more free, a little more personality driven, still have the storytelling, the music, the fun, the little heart-to-hearts like this one, and take a chance. One last chance. My old game plan's not going anywhere, but I feel like I have a chance. Shadow Dog. I feel like I have a chance right now to ride this momentum, not only numeric momentum because things are going so well on YouTube, but emotional momentum, which is the most important part of all of this to me. I'm having the most fun I've ever had on YouTube. It all feels like it's clicking. So I'm just gonna keep doing it until you stop clicking. No doubt about it, it's my hard work. It's my time investment that makes all of this happen. And me being happy while I do it is so important. And her dog's name is Pumpkin. That's so perfect. It's so perfect. This neighborhood's like living in a TV set. But you're my partner here, and if this doesn't make you happy, then it's all for nothing. So I'm gonna roll the dice. Things are gonna be a little bit different, looser, freeing. We're gonna go on lots of adventures, and I'll just use the math to guide me. When the videos go so low and when it affects my bottom line and I go, okay, people didn't like that, I can always go back to what my original plan was. But for now, this is what feels right. And as I said a long time ago in this conversation, you have to trust your gut when you're a creative, because there is no roadmap to success. There is no one showing you the way to get to where you want to go. The only person that can show you that is you and your audience. So let the good times roll, and I pray that they keep rolling, because this has all been a lot of work, and I'm ready for it to finally click and to take off and to find a place to where it feels like it's working consistently. And that's what last week was. My first big look into, oh my God, it feels like it's all working. I don't want to let that go. So whether you're new here or you've been here for years, cheers. Cheers for going on this journey with me. May we continue on this journey, and may I have guessed it right. All I want to do is show up and work really, really hard at entertaining you and making you happy. And let's hope this is what that does. This is what that does. Let's hope that this does that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and going on this journey with me. And thank you to all my friends at club1313.com for believing in my weird and wacky creative decisions. I love you all.